Are you having difficulty co-parenting with your child's mother or father? Are you disagreeing about what the best thing to do for your child is and reaching an impasse with no way to move forward to an end goal? Do you have concerns about your child's well-being and the other parent's care? Maybe even more importantly, are tensions rising to an untenable level? Can you not discuss your child without it devolving into a screaming match? Is the other parent of your child threatening to withhold your son or daughter? Are they putting your child in the middle of your disputes, forcing them to take a side? Unfortunately, more often than not, parents of children find themselves at a crossroads, unable to agree on much of anything. Even worse, these conflicts continue to get worse, with parties screaming and cursing at one another, taking spiteful actions against one another, threatening unnecessary legal action, withholding the child or children from the other, and involving the children, making them messengers or making them make difficult choices to side with one parent over the other. Hello, I'm Travis Heiss, an attorney here at Paré Associates located in Silver Spring, Maryland. And today's video is for those who find themselves facing a high conflict custody dispute. Through my experience practicing family law in Maryland, I've discovered 5 strategies to improve your chances for success when navigating a high conflict child custody battle. Number 1, prioritize the child or children's best interest. In the midst of conflict, it is crucial to keep the child's best interests at the forefront. Know why you are fighting for custody in the first place. There are many parents who want to win their child custody cases, but their reasoning has less to do with what is in their child's best interests and is more related to a narcissistic thought process where they want to win, and maybe even equally so, want the other party to lose. Think long and hard about why you are fighting for custody in the first place. It is likely that you legitimately care about your child's well-being and want the best for them. Now, how can your actions going forward reflect this? Of course, prioritize the well-being of the child, so demonstrate your commitment to fostering a stable and loving environment. Focus on what is best for the child emotionally, mentally, and physically. The most important legal standard concerning custody is the best interests of the child. Through the years, cases on custody have revealed important factors that the court considers when determining what custody arrangement is in the child or children's best interest. These factors include the primary caregiver. Who is the person who takes care of the child most of the time? Who feeds the child, shops for their clothes, gets them up for school, bathes them, and arranges their daycare or healthcare appointments? Who does the child turn to when they get hurt? When thinking about ensuring stability for the child, being that stabilizing force who is there for the child when they need you is important. Fitness. What are the mental and physical capacities or abilities of the parties who are seeking custody? It is important for the child to be in the custody of someone who can not only keep up with the physical demands of caring for a child, whether that be playing or taking them places they need to go, but also someone who has the emotional intelligence to be a calm, understanding, and supportive influence in the child's life. Do you or your co-parent get angry when the child misbehaves? Does this lead to screaming matches, excessive punishments? These are things for you to consider. The court may also consider evidence of abuse by a party against the other parent, the party's spouse, or any child residing within that party's household, including another child. The court will likely not find that residing with an abusive parent is in the child's best interests. The ability to maintain family relationships. Who will best be able to help the child keep family relationships? Who is going to let the child speak with their ex-mother-in-law, for example? Who will not penalize the child for any bad action on the part of the other parent? One of the biggest issues co-parenting relationships have is putting the child in the middle of a parental dispute. If the parents end up dating a new partner, putting your child in the position where they have to report back to you, or they are afraid of disappointing you by liking the new partner, are easy ways to hurt your position. Do not act spiteful towards the co-parent by hurting your child's other familial relationships in the process, the residences of the parents, and opportunities for visitation. How close do the parents live together? How close do they live to members of the child's extended family? Which parent lives closest to the child's school and their social circle? If the child or children go to school in Silver Spring, and one parent lives in Silver Spring while the other parent lives in Frederick, those parents sharing custody equally, whether in a 2-2-3 schedule or alternating weeks where the child or children are being driven in a car for hours at a time every day or every couple of days, would likely not be in their best interests. The length of separation from a parent or any prior abandonment. How long has the parent been separated from the child? Is there a history where whenever you and your co-parent got into a fight, they walked out, leaving you to care for your child alone? The court looks at these things, and if the other parent has a tendency to be absent or withdraw from being involved in the child's life, They will consider that when crafting a custody schedule that is in the child's best interest. The second strategy is to document, document, document. In high conflict situations, document is both your sword and your shield. Keep detailed records of all interactions, communications, and events related to your children. The information can be invaluable presenting your case to the court. You should maintain a comprehensive record to provide a clear picture of your involvement in the child's life. Eventually, through the discovery process, the parties are able to produce and exchange the documentation that is most helpful to making their case for custody at a final merits hearing. These documents can include, but are not limited to, your child's or children's school records. Are the children often late or call in sick when they are in the care of the other party? Is their homework not being done on the other party's days? Are their grades suffering as a result? What parent attends school meetings and events? Who communicates with the child's teachers? These are all critically important documents to have at your disposal when trying to demonstrate what is in your child's best interests. Photographs. Do you have photographs of fun family activities? Taking your child to the zoo or the aquarium? On a family vacation to Disney World? Do you have a home that can fit your child and their needs? Do they have their own bedroom, their bathroom, place to do their homework or play? On the other hand, does your co-parent live with many family members? Would the co-parent be sharing a room with your child? Having photographic proof of all these things can be helpful. Text messages, emails, social media messaging. How is the communication between you and your co-parent? Is it difficult to reach shared decisions? Do your discussions about your children devolve into name-calling or fighting? Is the other parent simply unresponsive? Having a written record showing the flaws in the other party's communication abilities is critical, especially when the court considers the issue of legal custody or decision-making authority. Being able to demonstrate a willingness to communicate, especially an ability to do so rationally and calmly, is helpful to your case. Pro tip: it is all too common that parties think the best way to obtain evidence is by secretly recording the other party during interactions. Avoid audio or video recording the other party when they do not know they're being recorded or they do not consent to being recorded. Not only will this serve to heighten the tension between the two of you, it can also be a crime. The third strategy: communicate carefully and effectively. As I mentioned before, effective communication is key, especially in high conflict situations. You should keep all communication respectful and focused on your child's needs. Consider using written tools like text messaging and email, or apps designed for co-parenting communication like Our Family Wizard. This helps keeps the line of communication direct, unmuddied, and in a concise and understandable timeline. Phone communication where parties are able to talk over one another, get sidetracked by emotion, and where there is no record of what was communicated are not ideal for this situation. You want to minimize direct confrontations and focus on maintaining a healthy dialogue on your end for the sake of your child. If you cannot maintain that healthy dialogue for your co-parent, at least you have a written record of the other party not being able to do so. Fourth strategy: consider mediation if possible. It is worth considering mediation as an alternative to courtroom battles. Mediation can provide a more amicable setting for resolving disputes and finding common ground. It is often less adversarial and can result in more customized solutions that best suit you, your co-parent, and your children. Mediation fosters collaboration and allows both parties to have a say in the final decisions. However, mediation is not always possible when dealing with a co-parent who is irrational, narcissistic, or unwilling to compromise in any capacity. The fifth strategy: take care of yourself in the process. Take care of yourself during this challenging time. High conflict situations can be emotionally draining, so you should prioritize your own self-care. Seek support from friends, family, or a mental health professional to help you navigate the emotional challenges of a high conflict custody dispute. Remember, taking care of yourself is essential to being able to care for your child effectively. If you are feeling the stress of the battle, it is likely that your children are also feeling that stress and they need someone to turn to. Take care of yourself so that your children can feel more secure and cared for through this process. Navigating a high conflict child custody battle requires a strategic and compassionate approach. Prioritize your child's well-being, document, communicate effectively, consider mediation if at all possible, seek professional support, and don't forget to take care of yourself along the way. If you find yourself going through a high conflict custody dispute or considering doing so, please do not hesitate to contact us and consult with the legal professionals here at Paré Associates. We are here to help you.